All right, so it's Labor Day weekend here in Wisconsin, and I've decided that I'm going to take an impromptu excursion. I'm gonna try to do an extended day excursion, just to see how it's gonna feel. I have yet to sleep in the van, so we're gonna try that and see how that goes. I've got nowhere special planned per se. I'm gonna hit up a few parks. I got a couple spots picked out that I thought maybe I could rest my head, so we're gonna play into that a little bit, but first, before I go, I'm gonna need a shower and a shave and all that stuff too. But before even that, I've made the decision to remove the RO membrane portion of my water filtration system. I just feel at this point that it is not ideal for me in this van. So what I decided to do is I'm going to remove the membrane, keep the 3 filter set. I've looked into some other filters. I can go to a smaller filter set. I can get a 5 micron filter as well as a 1 micron charcoal filter. So I think I'm going to go that route. That'll help a lot in the 3 filters. Currently I'm running 10 micron filters, so I think that will be a significant improvement, that alone. Right now I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to gut that holding tank that's up here in the cabinet. This holding tank right here is integral to the RO system, and that's currently taking up quite a bit of space in here, which it is what it is, for the sake of having fresh clean water on board. And then there's also down below the sink here is the RO membrane. So basically all I have to do is remove one of these lines. It's tucked in the back from the RO membrane, and connect it, or actually connect the faucet right to that, and that should do it. So it should be a relatively easy repair, or upgrade or refit, if you will. All right, so it's about 3 o'clock. I got all my errands ran, and got stopped at the grocery store, picked up a few things, and now I'm on the hunt for an overnight parking spot. So just scoping out this this hospital here, and just trying to determine if this would be a suitable parking location. Employees parking only. I'm not quite sure if this parking lot is going to be large enough, but it's somewhat near where I want to hang out today, so it wouldn't be that far of a stretch to get here after the fact. So just gonna kind of poke around here and see if there's a spot that might. I mean, the parking area really isn't that big, so at the end of the day, so I did a lap around, and it really doesn't look that promising. The parking lot is really small. It's not really a very large hospital. It's more of like a clinic, if you will. But there is, I'd rather not park on a road, an active street. That just seems kind of silly to me. I'd rather be in a parking lot if possible. Now there's some parking along this road here, but again, I don't really think that that's a very good spot. Just asking for trouble, I think.
So I don't think this is going to be a suitable spot. Now there's another place that I can go check out, and I think I probably will later. Not right now. It's a bit of a distance from where I'm at. I was kind of hoping that this would actually work out, but it doesn't look like it's going to. I've got several other options. There's Walmart, and there's Home Depot, and there's Cracker Barrel, and that sort of stuff. So I'm not really concerned about, you know, not finding somewhere to call her a good night. So I'm just gonna go ahead and head to the park and get set up there. I mean, for a large park, you know, there's parking lot, but there's really no parking along the roadway. Can't park on the grass. There is one pull-off area. There was someone there. It's really only big enough for like maybe 3 cars. So I'm gonna pull into this parking lot here and call it good, and just hang out here for a while. It's nice and flat and level, so that should be good. Ballpark over there. Lots of places to walk around or whatever. I'm probably not going to do much walking around. Just more or less just going to chill and relax. Let's get this van set up, shall we? All right, so I'm set up. I'm going to take this again because I had tunes playing in the background, and I really, you know, I really don't want to go down that road. But at any rate, yep, I got the buck screen deployed, and in this parking lot, and otherwise just hanging out. Got the computer on. Everything's all ready to go. Make some dinner here soon. But otherwise, I think I'm just gonna hang out for a little while. It's only I don't know, what is it? 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock. It's only 4 o'clock. I mean, I haven't had much to eat today. Just some bars that I made, but otherwise, we're just gonna hang out here. Take a break, enjoy the weather. Maybe about 5, 6 o'clock, we'll make some dinner, and then we'll go find a place to park. All right, so now I guess it's time for dinner. Getting hungry, you know, just relaxed for a while, you know, just soaking in the nice weather. Got a nice breeze coming through the van, but yeah, no, I got dinner on the go here. I got some mixed vegetables, some green peppers, a little yellow zucchini, some onion. I got some fried potatoes, and I got a really nice thick pork chop. All in the induction. Single pan, keep my mess down to a minimum. So yeah, that's working out pretty good. I've got my timer set for how long things are going to be cooking, so that works out good. I've got my thermometer set here as I'm creating power with the inverter. We can see that there's about a 9-degree difference between ambient temperature and the temperature from within the electrical cabinet. So that's pretty cool. That's working out. And then if we go ahead and we look at the Victron app, right now the internal temperature of the inverter is 109. So we're definitely vacating some heat out of there. So that's a really good thing. We are currently at 90% of our battery capacity, you know, as we're, you know, using it for the PC and of course the induction cooktop. So that's working out pretty good there. And then if we look at the solar, we're generating some wattage with the solar currently, 230, 240 watts. So that's working out pretty good too, to try to top that off. Now I don't suspect that I'll get you know, I don't expect that I'll have this at, you know, 100% by nightfall. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Depends on, you know, how quickly I turn this down. But definitely tomorrow morning, afternoon, we'll jump right back up to 100% again. So that's one of the reasons I want to test all this out, just to see what my, you know, turnaround time is for my batteries and my solar, to make sure that I, you know, did I get too much solar? Did I get too much battery? Did I not get enough battery? Did I not get enough solar? That sort of thing. So it's a good test to try to determine, you know, my usage in the van here. So, but we got about 3 minutes before that pork chop's done. So we'll check it out when we're all done. All right, right on the money. Look at that. Beautiful. Fried potatoes, pork chop, and some mixed veg. Van life for sure, man. Ooh. Heck yeah. Beautiful. All right, good morning. I ended up parked in Home Depot for the night. A little bit stiff this morning. My back, I couldn't, I don't know if I just couldn't relax or what, but my lower back was, I should have took some Advil. I bought some, so I had some here in the van, but I don't know. I guess I just wasn't thinking. But I'm up now. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go find a different place to park for a while and make some breakfast, and we'll get going. All right, so on my way downtown, there's a farmer's market, and there's supposed to be some kind of a music stage or a pavilion of sorts that have live music at. And I thought that I read online that there was going to be music on that stage this weekend. I don't know for sure. Either way, I'm going to go find a place to park, hopefully. All right, well, parking is you know, I found a parking spot anyways. Well, that's good, but it's not really that great. Well, we're going to take a walk through this farmer's market. I think it's still a little bit early, but either way, we'll get a stretch, see what they have to offer. There's it's actually on both sides of the river here, so we'll walk across this pretty cool footbridge. But otherwise, yeah, we'll just have a look. Eventually we'll go somewhere else to make some breakfast. Yeah, so this is this little pavilion here. Supposedly gonna have some live music. Kind of neat. Never actually been down here before, so here is the Rock River. Downtown Janesville kind of splits this river. As a kid growing up, in my 16, 17, 15 years old, there used to be one-way streets that used to go around this area here. I mean, pretty much where I'm standing was like the center, and we used to race, kids always, because they're one-way streets, so it's just a big loop. We would just go round and round and round and round and round all night long. We call it circuit. Usually lots of accidents, hundreds and hundreds of cars. I mean, back then it wasn't really, it was kids, you know, it was, you know,
15 to 20 something probably. It wasn't like the adults with the big muscle cars or anything like that, but it was kids. That's what the kids did. But eventually they got smart, the city got smart, and they stopped the one-way streets, turned them into two-way streets, so that pretty much ended the circuit downtown Janesville. So everybody went uptown on the strip kind of thing, and it wasn't as fun because it wasn't a big loop, but essentially it's the same thing, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then there was always parking lots full of cars, where everybody had their hoods up pretending that they got in car trouble, because eventually this city got on that too, where you couldn't loiter. So, but it is what it is. Not actually sure why there's a dock down there. I kind of thought that this part of the river was sort of inaccessible by boat. I know there's a bunch of dams along this river, and I thought there was a dam up or down from this. I'm not quite sure. All right, so just a quick debrief. A couple of days later, after my trip here, I did close this video out once already, but for some reason the clip got deleted, or I'm not quite sure what happened. But at any rate, I stayed out for a couple of nights. First night I stayed at a Home Depot parking lot. The second night I stayed at a Walmart parking lot. Walmart was considerably louder than Home Depot. Obviously, it was probably a 24-hour Walmart, so I can understand why. But neither place had any issues. I arrived later in the evening, around 9-ish. I found a spot in the back, you know, towards the out in the back of the lot, if you will, and rocked up and just settled in. I watched a movie, and then I went to sleep. So it worked out pretty good. Now, the day was pretty gloomy, so when I woke up, and I realized that my batteries were probably around, 50-60%, and because of the cloud cover, there just wasn't any solar coming in. So I got a little concerned. I didn't really want to sit around. It was cool, and at that point I thought, well, I'm gonna go home and regroup and think about everything. So I let the van just sort of sit at home, and I watched the solar progress throughout the day, and I didn't get anything out of it. I think I closed the day out at about 60%. So, and then I got a call from my daughter, who wanted to meet up for lunch or whatever. So I thought, well, okay. So I came out and I plugged the van into my house, and I got overnight. I reached 100%, which I wasn't surprised. I don't know how long it took to go from 60 to 100% on a 15 amp circuit, but we'll test that out some more. So I mean, it's a great test to stay close to home, to kind of try to see exactly what my limitations are. Obviously, in a bad weather, no sun day, I'm going to have to really think about power consumption and stuff. So, but like I said, that's a good thing. And of course, this later in the season, and I am north, so the sun is prevalent in the sky, and during the more summer and springtime. So that definitely has an effect as well. But either way, I had a good time. I had some good food. I enjoyed myself at the parks I stayed at. Wasn't bothered, or didn't have any other concerns whatsoever. So it was a good and a fun outing. So I'm going to close the video out here. I do thank you guys for coming and hanging out and checking things out as I progress into this full-time van life. Definitely appreciate that. If you liked the content so far, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Drop a like, which supposedly helps get the word out on the YouTube thingamabopper. So appreciate that as well. It makes me feel good too, because then kind of lets me know you guys enjoy what you're seeing. So, at any rate, we'll see you guys next week. Take care.